Yeah. All right. Well, I would be. I wonder how many hours they have. Like, I would be curious.
I'm not even sure I want to know. It's like I've put 3,000 hours in some games, and that's too much. I don't want to know what it takes to be professional in some of them.
What, like
Like, oh
10,000
gosh.
hours? Do you think?
I'd say probably minimum. To
Oh,
even really
really?
get to. Whereas the games I have loads of hours in are like transport games and logistics games.
Physics games. Okay.
Yeah. Or logistics.
Oh, logistics. I thought you said physics. Okay.
So have you ever heard of Factorio?
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
So I don't have as many hours in Factorio, but I have many more hours in games like it.
You got 600, dude.
Yeah, again, that's not accurate. The thing is, because until quite recently, a lot of my games, basically, it took ages to start them.
Okay.
So I would leave them on overnight, just so that's where quite a few of those hours came from.
Oh.
With Factorio, it wasn't so much of a problem, but with some of them, it's like, yeah, this takes 40 minutes to load a save game. No way am I shutting it down. It's like, it's not a surprise when I have 500 mods.
Okay.
In a
I
game
don't
that's
think
already intensive.
I've ever. So Factorio, like that's an intensive game.
Not Factorio so much, but my transport game especially. If you I'm not sure if you can see it on my thing or whatever, but the game I'm pretty sure I have the most hours is Transport Fever 2, of which I have over 3,000 logged hours.
I saw that.
But
Yeah. That.
yeah,
Crazy.
I reckon the actual figure is closer to 2,000. Still a ridiculous amount of time, but
Okay. Huh.
oh, we got a new dog.
Really nice.
Yeah, her name is Cassie. She's very, very sweet.
So now you have 3 dogs.
Yep, we have 8 family members.
Nice. Why?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a bit hectic, but basically, you remember Tycho?
Yeah, of course.
He's getting really old now,
Oh yeah.
and frankly, we're not expecting to go beyond the end of the year,
Oh, sorry about that.
which is sad. But he's an old dog, and he's had a fun life, and
Yeah.
basically he has really bad arthritis from so much throwing with the tennis ball, so he has trouble even walking.
So he doesn't do like the tennis anymore?
No, he hasn't done the tennis ball for years, except in the river, in which case once in a while we'll take him for a very light go, because it's very much less intensive exercise.
Oh. Yeah.
He still sprawls anything, but you play like, tug of war with him, and it's like, okay, then you're about to break my hand when you're snapping your neck back and forth.
I remember though, like, Tycho, like the day that you got Tycho, like, I don't even want to know how old I was. It's probably old.
It's, I mean,
Sorry, I was
I'm
really
turning
young.
18 in a month. This doesn't make sense.
Wait, okay. That I'm
Yeah,
saying
so,
I'm old. I meant to say I'm like I don't remember how young I was. That's what I meant
yeah,
to say. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's like I'm turning 18. It's like, what? I'm in college, but I was just learning transport games a few days ago. What?
I'm like scared to go in college, but I still have a few more years of high school left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, so far, like, obviously OSU is not everywhere, but I've been really happy with it, honestly.
Okay.
Although I think having an online first year has really helped.
Nice.
Yeah, but because I've just been, I mean, my commute is literally like 6 steps.
From your bed to your computer.
Yeah, because it's in my it's literally in my room, and basically I have the desk behind my bed.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, actually, my parents were very awesome about this, and they got me a new laptop for school stuff, so I could have both separation, and also because as an engineering student, I need to run some high intensity programs.
What specs?
So
do
it's an
that.
Inspiron. Oh, what is it? It's a Dell Inspiron. Like, I want to say 3700 or something.
Okay, do you know like what the specs are?
Find it on the Dell site.
Okay.
It was expensive as anything, but we thought that it was worth it because it'll last for 5-10 years.
Personally, I'm not like a big fan of laptops.
Yeah, but this one's pretty special.
Okay,
It's
nice.
full 17-inch. 17-inch. Yeah, okay, here it is, I think. So yeah. So it's the 5750 workstation. Let me put in all the things that I had on it.
Okay.
But basically it was a $3,500 laptop. So yeah.
Okay. Is it like
not
good value?
Yeah.
Oh really?
I mean, it was on sale from 5,000, so should hope so.
God. Okay.
Yeah, I mean this is a mid to high tier engineering laptop. It's advertised as a workstation.
Okay. Nice.
So yeah, it's no joke, that's for sure. Yeah. So it's got a full terabyte hard drive. It's got, I think, 32 gigabytes of RAM. Let me see if I could. Where is the? That's odd. When I was doing this before, it had an option for graphics card. But if I remember right, it was 32 gigabytes of RAM, the best graphics card which they offered, which wasn't. I mean, it's the Quadro series, so I really don't know how that compares. But
you know, the best graphics card is a RTX 3090, right?
Yeah, but I mean for a laptop.
30.
And of course.
Oh no. Okay.
And also, it needs very different things. I don't need fast render.
Okay.
I need sheer processing power. So the graphics card isn't that important, actually, for most things.
Yeah, so you probably need like a powerful like i9-10900K CPU.
Yeah, it's got, or I think it has an i7, but it's it's like the best i7 you can get. Interesting. This is actually, I think it's actually maybe a little higher than the. I think they don't actually sell the one that I was looking for anymore.
Oh, is it a 10700K i7 from Intel?
I don't know the exact stat off the top of my head.
Okay.
I used to have the page bookmarked.
Okay.
Oh wait, hang on. I can just log in and I can just look at my order history. Or it would be in here. So the one advantage of never deleting anything.
Fair, yeah.
Yeah. So if I go to Dell site and log in, hopefully I can actually like. Okay, here we go. So log in. So where? So my products. Here we go. So yes, Precision 7750. See if I can find the orders. So yeah, parts and accessories. Here we go.
Okay.
Okay, so from memory, it had. Wait, why isn't that showing what I actually... Overview, here we go. Here we go, view product specs, finally. So yeah, so we customize... I can't, sorry, I don't know exactly how the Dell system works, but it's a very high quality laptop, and it serves me really well.
Nice.
I mean, it's a 2020 laptop that weighs close to 10 pounds.
Okay.
That should say something of its quality.
Yeah, alright.
Yeah. But yeah.
If I personally was buying a laptop, I'd want to like know everything about it and like compare it to everything.
I knew at the time we customized it massively.
Oh,
The
nice. Okay.
the base sale price was something like 2,500, and we brought that up to 3,500 through a whole
Okay.
bunch of upgrades and stuff. So yeah, we very much we spent like close to a month doing all the research, or not that long, but like a week doing all the research and figuring out exactly what would be good.
So is that better than your current PC, which is you still have your GTX 1050 2 gig and
Yeah,
your i5 7500?
yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, it's pretty much unilaterally better than this one.
Okay.
Um,
That's good.
yeah, I mean, yeah. In fact, I think literally every single stat is better.
Okay. Okay.
This gaming computer still serves my needs. I don't have like graphics card upgrade would be nice, but it would be like up to a 1080 would be all I'd really need.
1080. They don't make those anymore. That's like an old card.
Wasn't that what they reinstated recently?
A 10. No, so I mean,
Was it the
they.
1050 that was reinstated?
Hold on. By reinstated, you mean like discontinued?
No, as in they actually started making them again because demand was so high. Like they started making some of the old mid and low tier cards again.
No, so the lowest card that they make, I believe, is the 1650.
Really?
Yeah. So pretty
Certain
much
I saw
what
it.
that is a higher end version of a 1050 Ti. It still has a 75-watt TDP, but it has, I believe, it's slightly more powerful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but just a different number.
It has like the same VRAM, but I think it has like more CUDA cores.
Yeah, they restart. Yeah, I was right. So you can buy them from, you can buy them again, like the GTX 1050s, for example.
Really?
Yeah,
Who would want a? Oh, okay, okay.
like and the 1050 Ti. I remember they actually, like, if I search for article, maybe I can find it. But basically, there was so much demand for the low end ones that they restarted production. Just for people who don't need high end graphics cards but need reliable ones.
Okay, a 1050.
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
10. I think it's like
oh.
the 1050s, 1080s. I think both of those series at least restarted. And I think maybe some of the 900s.
Some of the. Wow,
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
for the proper low end.
I thought they needed. They only made the 30,000 series cards. The 3000 series cards, I guess.
Oh, here we go. So if we go to the NVIDIA official store, so if we go shop and then I can search by for graphics card. So under the GeForce series, that is.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got going. So yeah. Okay, interesting. Maybe they just rebranded them as the 1650. That's quite possible, because it's not showing it on. I read an article from Associated Press about it.
Okay, I'm pretty sure the lowest end card is a 1650, and that's pretty low end.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a
Yeah,
$150.
that's what I'm seeing on the NVIDIA store.
Yeah.
I wonder what I read then. I'm confused.
But I mean, you probably, cause the GTX, the GTX 1650 is pretty much exactly a 1050 Ti, but just with a different name.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, but basically they didn't. They were planning on going further, but they decided not to. Like they decided to keep the old ones in service.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's been really interesting doing engineering stuff. Just in terms of, like, sorry, I'm blathering on. How are you doing?
No, you're good. You're good. I was just about to ask a question about engineering. Like, is it like how hard is it?
It's difficult. I was in the weird position of basically not having the needed math at the start.
Oh no.
Just because I did, but more so because I didn't massively surge ahead in high school. I was in fact still ahead of where my high school would normally have finished, and my high school is certainly not unmath focused. It's just, for whatever reason, engineering expects you to have taken calculus.
Did you not?
before you enter college. Which doesn't quite make sense given the high schools, so I don't know.
Does Connections Academy offer calculus?
Yeah, it does, but earlier on in my education, when I was really surging ahead, because it's like it was going through like addition and stuff and various things that I could wrap my head around.
Right.
My parents decided to hold me back, effectively, and I agreed with the decision. So basically, yeah, I could have finished with calculus, but I would have been almost at least 1 year's worth ahead of where I actually finished.
So did you take like trigonometry?
Yeah, I took trig, and I ended halfway through pre-calculus because I got cut off in the March season.
Okay.
But yeah, so I took pre-calc, but basically in college, because obviously in college everything's harder and it goes into more depth, I effectively ended up 2 full terms behind on math.
So
it actually hasn't been... Sorry, go on.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
So this actually hasn't ended up being the worst, because one of the things I've wanted to do for a long time is study history.
Okay.
And, as it so happens, everything works perfectly for me shifting from a 4-year to a 5-year and taking on an economic history minor.
Wow. So you're
And
not doing math in college or university?
I am, but I have the engineering major for civil engineering, and I have a economic history minor along with it.
So I have a question about math. What grade were you like doing like multiplying and dividing polynomials?
It's a good question. I want to say, like, in terms of how complex are you thinking, like, like 4x or like quadratics and beyond?
Oh dear.
Like, were there exponents involved and such?
There are exponents involved, yes.
Okay, so yeah, so that was one of the times when I was furthest ahead, and I think I was getting into that in like 8th and 9th grade, but it was supposed to be in like 10th and 11th.
Oh. Okay. Hold on. So what grade did you do like the base polynomials?
The base stuff, I remember I had an introduction to them weirdly early, but I finally got into them properly in like, basically it was in those same courses. Basically the courses just went, that was actually probably the single fastest paced math course I've ever taken, because it went from the basics of algebra to fairly complex multiplication and division and stuff like that in one semester.
Okay.
So it was weirdly fast.
What grade were you in, like, when you first, like, did that, or started that?
So again, I think I was ahead by 1 grade, and I think that was, I want to say the spring semester of my 8th grade.
Okay. Okay. Sounds about right.
Yeah. So, yeah, but it was weird. It was like, okay, hang on. A month ago, I was studying how do variables work. Now we've gone full into fairly complex equations, like the level of complexity that I still deal with today, on a not infrequent basis.
Right. Okay.
It felt nice to be like, to just go for it for once. Though it was just like, okay, all right, we're not being taught the same thing for like 3 months. That's nice.
So you're doing the online university, you said.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you still like living at home?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Which honestly has been really a blessing. It's been wonderful to be from home.
What if you had, this was something I was always wondering, what would happen if you had to move into a dorm and you had like a annoying roommate like Alfonso?
So basically, OSU has, well, I cannot imagine this is a normal system in any way, because basically the closest comparison I've heard, and I've never used the comparing item, so I don't know, but effectively what it's compared and frankly what's described as by the university is it's close to a dating app. Which
A
sounds weird, right?
Wait, so you said university is a dating app?
No, the roommate selection process.
Oh, okay. A date.
And
Oh, yeah.
basically-
So like you like swipe left and right like on a date.
Yeah, it's not quite that simple, but it like you put in preferences and stuff, and it matches you, and then you can communicate. Like, I really do wish they gave you a bit more of a helping hand, because it was like, oh, okay, all right, you've just given this, and then we just have to figure it out for ourselves. But but OSU is quite an individualistic university. I imagine in normal universities, it's just selected based on those preferences, which is an option here too. But in regards to directly your question, basically, if there's a problem, you can contact the university like housing and dining system. I don't know what that would officially be called, and basically you can sort it out. Like, they never keep it full enough that you can't transfer to a different room or whatever.
So do you think, like, will you have, like, a roommate in university?
Yeah, I will, very much so. Just to try and save a little bit more money.
Right.
I'm taking a fairly standard track, I think, which is a 2-person dorm. Yeah, I know. I'm scared by it too. It's like, oh gosh, I'm having 2 people living in a room smaller than my current room. Okay, then.
Yeah, that'd be scary.
Yeah. So in fairness, I mean, it's not as if I'm gonna be bringing with me many possessions.
Okay.
Like I'll have the 2 computers, and like some books, and that's about it.
So,
And like microwave and mini fridge.
what if somebody is like throwing parties in the dorm room and like getting drunk all the time?
That is actually something that's one of the things that's considered when they're selecting. That's one of the preferences they talk about. So yeah, and my understanding is they'll try and group people together like by halls. So, like, you'll have quieter halls and you'll have louder halls, and so there won't be like one room which is like the party club in a hall of introverts.
Okay. That would be funny. Okay.
Yeah, it'd be funny, but can you imagine dealing with that for 9 months as the introvert?
So like your room is the party room, and then your roommate keeps like throwing parties and coming home drunk.
Basically, but one of the things that I'm very proud of the university for is they take things like substance use and abuse and underage very, very seriously. Just something I'm proud of them for. So, like, if you actually get caught drinking at like as in properly drink, like not just a sip from an older friend or whatever.
Right.
But like if you get properly drinking or smoking or anything like that, I don't think you'll get expelled, but you'll get a serious warning, and you may be kicked out of the housing.
What?
And they actually monitor that, which is, I think, a good thing.
You come home one day, and then your dorm room smells like cigarette smoke, and then your roommate's like, "Oh, that wasn't me."
Fortunately, at least for me in that situation, knowing me, I'll probably have made my views known at some point, whether intentionally or unintentionally. So, I mean, I blurt out whatever I'm thinking.
Yeah. Okay. Alright.
Yeah. So shall we actually play some CS?
Oh, yeah, okay, let's play some CS. How do I... We're just been, like, talking.
Yeah, I'd kind of forgotten that was what we were supposed to do.
Yeah, same here.
That was what it prompted it.
Okay, I think I can join your game directly. I'm gonna try that.
Yeah. So I'm not in a game at the moment, but I'll start one. So basically, I've done this before. I found another like a small group that sort of hangs out on here. But so basically, I'll join a lobby, and then in your right-hand sidebar, like you'll see that I'm in a lobby.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'll tell you when I'm in. And I'm wearing headphones, so hopefully there's no like noise.
I hate when
feedback.
that, because like I like playing with the speaker. I'm not currently on headphones right now, but if I was playing on the speakers, like the mic would like catch all the noise, and it would be so annoying, especially when you're trying to play the same game.
Yeah, I actually got really lucky with this microphone. It's a conference mic I picked up for like $40 on Amazon.
Oh,
and
nice.
Comparing the audio quality, it's the same as other mics that I've heard that are like a couple hundred. It's like what? Plus, it's omnidirectional.
Wow.
And like the mic it's a desk mic.
Okay.
But it's like I'm probably 2 feet away from it, maybe. Like my mouth is like 2 feet away from it, maybe. So it's actually quite, and it's picking it up well.
All right, that's good.
Yeah.
Would you say like my audio quality sounds good?
Yeah, your audio quality is great.
Okay, perfect.
I just spawn in at a just whizzing past my head.
Oh wow.
Oh. Got a good mixture of experience levels in this. We've got one guy who's like ranked 25, and then we've also got people who are like rank 1 and 2. Or not quite that low, but there are 2 rank 3s, and one of them's in 3rd, weirdly. How's the guy who's rank 3 in 3rd?
He probably has 2 different accounts.
Yeah, in fairness, that's not uncommon.
Yeah.
I was thinking I must have gotten lucky there. I was just like, this guy was just spraying at me, and I was like, what? How am I not gone? And then he comes around from spawn behind me and just gone.
Oh, so like, are you good at the game?
I'm okay.
Okay.
I'm a decent shot, like flat, but I struggle with situational awareness.
Okay. Okay. I like struggle to like hit people long range.
Yeah, long range is tough.
Yeah.
I think that's just practice. I haven't found any good like maps for testing, and frankly, I only actually play deathmatch. I really enjoy it, just because I don't have to worry about stressful. Oh, and casual is pretty fun as well. But the couple of times that I've tried to play competitive, it's just been salt, and rage.
Okay.
It's just like,
here's the problem. I'd love to play competitive. However, I cannot figure out how to turn the voice chat off.
That's in the settings. So basically, if you go into settings, and under communication, and then you can have like mute enemy team, mute all but friends, and so on. You might have a little bit of problem joining as this particular match just ended. Maybe just wait.
Okay.
Maybe 30 seconds if you're not already in.
I'm in.
Or probably never that long. Have you played on Vertigo in Deathmatch yet? By the way.
I don't actually know. I play a lot of Dusk 2 mostly.
If you haven't, one word, Mag 7. And that's a dash, so it is one word. It is so much superior to it's the terrorist pocket shotgun, or sorry, the CT pocket shotgun, and frankly, it's kind of overpowered.
I've used it, yeah.
Boy, is it fun! Because you just drop around a corridor to someone who hasn't even seen you, and they're gone.
I do that pretty often.
Yeah, it's not even frustrating to play against. I've found it's just because it's just. You feel like you've been outclassed, but not in a silly way. It's just like
That
It's
like
just like, okay, wow,
spiral
that happened.
staircase in Dusk 2, like I like using that terrorist shotgun, the Mag 7, and then I can just like destroy anyone that like comes up the staircase.
Yeah. The great thing about it on Vertigo, though, is that it's everywhere. It's not just one spot. It works on almost the whole map.
Oh, nice.
And against players or bots, both. It's just, you see them and it's just like, okay, then, wow, that just happened.
I've
Bloody heck, I
come
think that may be the
across.
first headshot I've ever hit with the USPS.
Oh, you've hit
Like,
it.
including practice.
Okay.
It's like, just did the snapshot. It's like, okay then. Not quite a snapshot, but still mostly luck.
So, are you in a game right now?
Yeah, I am.
How come it says none of my friends are online?
That's odd. I've
Okay.
seen you online before.
So I'm going to quit CSGO and then I'll just relaunch.
Yeah, try a relaunch.
Okay. Can I launch? I'll just launch Steam.
Yeah. It's nice to have everything running through two separate programs, like the voice and the game. It means it's a lot easier to communicate around tech issues and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I use Discord pretty much whenever I play a game with anyone.
Yeah. I hope my keyboard's not too loud, by the way. I have the mic pointed away from it. Basically, it's got an intentional blind spot, but I'm not really sure how much that actually stops it.
Oh no, I mean I used to have a Razer the Razer green switches, which are equivalent to Cherry MX Blues, very loud, and then everyone was like screaming in the chat, your keyboard's too loud, and then, but like, no, your keyboard's fine.
Okay, good. I'm still using that Razer Black Widow that I got like 3 years ago, and it's just been great.
I had the Razer Black Widow Chroma V2, so like the next version up from yours, but yeah, it's really good.
This is just like the. It's like I got that and a Death Adder mouse for like $150, close to the best money I've ever spent.
Nice.
It's like I've had no problems with them, and even when it came time to do a proper deep cleaning of the keyboard, just came apart easily. Everything worked. Everything fit back together. Just like, wow, you guys charge a reasonable price for a great product. How rare is this?
That's pretty good. So you got like Razer as opposed to like anything else. Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, my headphones are from. Oh God, who are they from now?
Turtle Beach.
I can't remember the name. Let me look.
Okay.
Full Tune.
Oh, you used to have Turtle
and those
Beach.
are pretty good. I used to have those, but they eventually gave up the ghost.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
But I mean, they lasted for like 2 years. I'm not complaining.
Oh yeah, all right. I'm still.
And they certainly weren't bad headphones, but I mean, it was at the point where the fabric was literally coming apart, and it's like, yeah, that's a problem. And then the audio went out as well. It's like these are not worth repairing.
Yeah, I mean there were like $60 headphones, so maybe not.
Yeah, these I think were $100, but I think most of that extra price comes from the fact that they do have an optional wireless mode. Not that I've ever used it, but it was crazy. It's almost impossible to find a headphone that doesn't have a wireless mode now.
A gaming headphone, or
yeah, a gaming headphone.
Really?
It's like what? It's like I looked and it's like even like the like anything above like $20 now has a wireless mode. It seems like on Amazon anyway. And it's like if I have to have a wireless mode, I'm not going to let that low price compromise the quality of everything else. So I'll just get a better one. It was my own money, so I figured I'm not cheating my parents out of anything or whatever. So decided why not go for quality.
Going to see how much my headphones. How come my headphones don't have an optional wireless phone?
Yeah. I'm playing like a spanner today. Don't worry too much in terms of competition or whatever. What on earth? I didn't even know that was possible. I just got 2 people with 1 Mag 7 blast.
I didn't know that was possible either.
It's like two people just blast around the corner, and I just let off one shot, and they're both gone. It's like, wait. I'm frankly surprised that that's possible.
So, okay.
Oh, by the way, something to keep in... Sorry, go on.
Oh, sorry. So, okay. I'm not sure if it's a glitch with my game, but, and, like, the right-hand side, it still doesn't say that you're playing CSGO. Do I...
Huh. Or the right-hand side in the CSGO menu.
Yeah, in the CSGO menu.
Okay,
I mean, I'll
you're in there. Okay,
right now.
I wasn't sure. So,
in
yeah.
Steam, it says, like, there's an option, like, for me to, like, join your game. Can I,
Yeah, try that, because it's still going.
Alright, let's try it.
That was dirty. I just got someone with the Mag 7 from, like, 20 meters. They had an assault rifle. And it took me 3 blasts. That felt bad.
3... I mean, that's happened to me. Like, usually with the Mag 7, it takes, like, 2 shots at close range to kill them.
Yeah. Or, it depends whether you headshot or not. Like, if you aim...
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, usually if I'm on target and I'm at point blank, it usually takes 1 for me. But that could just be luck. I think if like 90% of the pellets hit, it's a kill as long, even for a chest shot.
Okay.
Like something like 90%, because I know it does more than 100 damage. Like even against armor.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. And by point blank, I mean point blank. I'm not talking about 10 meters or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, so I click join your game and I'm just getting a blank screen.
That's very strange.
So, I mean, it's not even launching my CSGO.
Are you offline perchance? Because I don't even see you as active on my end. Might be worth
Okay. I could restart, yeah.
Yeah, try restarting your Steam, because that's about the only thing I can think of. It's also... I know that you can, like, go offline on Steam. I never do, because frankly, I don't have the number of friends that matters, but I know you can do that, and maybe you did it at some point for whatever reason.
Oh, yeah, I have been offline Steam before.
Yeah.
Wait, so if you don't have, like, enough friends, you can't go offline?
Or, you can, there's no point for me to do so.
Oh, yeah.
It's until recently, it was you and Andrew, and that was it. I've got a couple of others now that I found on CS, but I certainly don't have many.
Nice, like the CS voice chat?
Found this really nice group. They call themselves the Schwa Clan. And they're really fun, just these group of chill people with the effective mantra, I guess, of these are people who you want to play games with. Why be rude to them?
Yeah.
And they just chat about stuff. They basically use CS as their Discord room, and they're fine to include other people in the discussion or whatever. And it's just a really chill group. It's just nice to see.
I found a group...
I mean, that's a deathmatch, to be clear.
Yeah, not competitive. Oh dear.
Okay, I do not understand the USP. Okay, there you go. I just got you saying online.
Okay.
But what I was going to say is I do not understand USPS headshot because I literally was like AFK, so I crouched, took out careful aim, and fired, and they didn't die. And I definitely hit the head, so I really don't particularly know how that works.
The USPS is the cheaper sniper, right?
No, the USPS is the pistol. Or the USP-S.
Yeah,
you're thinking of the Scout. Which is very fun, but hard to use effectively. I feel like the Scout's probably a lot more viable in competitive and various, like, proper matches, because it's not particularly viable in terms of death matches, because it's like, unless you hit that headshot, no chance.
You're talking
Yeah,
about like
so
sidearms?
yeah. Okay, so I see you on CS:GO now and on Steam. So
Okay, fine. I restarted my Steam. Perfect, perfect.
okay, yeah. So that seems to all be working. So we're changing maps at the moment, but I'll let you know when you can try and join. I've never been on this end of it before, so
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
I've joined the Schwa clan a couple times, but I haven't actually like been someone to be joining on.
Like, there's so many like I'm sure you've run into like so many. Have you tried playing like competitive or? So,
Again, I tried once and it was terrible.
like
Like
the
the the
people.
the, the one guy who was talking, like two of the people clearly had no idea what they were doing, as in like, and and then there was one guy who was okay, and then there was me, and then there was one guy who was good but was just a bossy jerk, who was constantly saying like, "God, you guys should quit. You guys are terrible." It's like, really, dude?
That
And like,
did
it's not even as if we were doing that badly. We tied. So it's like, what's your problem?
did
Although
you?
once it,
Okay.
sorry,
Like, try
sorry, go
talking
on.
to this guy? Like, did you like say anything to him?
I don't use mic on CS:GO itself just because it's people I don't know. I don't really want to risk it.
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
But I did talk in text chat a couple times, and about half the time, his outrage was, in fairness, completely justified. It would be like, he makes the call, "All right, everyone go A." 3 of them go B. And like I was guilty of this like once on each site because I didn't know the map, but we don't have that excuse when it's like the 4th time.
Right. Okay.
Look at the map.
Oh my God! You just killed me.
Oh yeah, that was at the end of a 4K. That was weird. Oh,
You
there you are.
just-
Ah! I was just behind you, and then there was another guy right next to you, and like one of the bots, and just turned around and it's like, I'm in the middle of reloading. Not then, but I whiffed that like nothing else. I had the total drop from you, it's just nothing.
Oh. Okay. All right.
But yeah, at the end of that was like the craziest thing that's ever happened to me, that 4K. It's like, they all just kept appearing around a corner, and I was just like there were 3 of them that came around when I first came around the corner. It's like, okay, 3 bursts, how am I still alive? I think you came out last, and it's like,
So you got like a quad. That was the only quadruple kill that you've
that
gotten.
was a quad.
Nice.
That was a quad in like 5 seconds. It's like
It's pretty
probably
good.
the best that's ever happened.
Did you know
Is
that
that Chewie
Elon
as your picture?
is pardon?
Is that Chewie as your picture?
That's Arthur.
Arthur. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Couldn't quite tell.
Yeah, I mean they look the same.
I just meant more because of the resolution.
Yeah, yeah, true.
I just got horribly flanked. Pretty sure there were people literally after me from 3 angles.
Who do you think is better at this game, you or Elon Musk?
I have no idea. You have a knack for just asking these random questions that just amuse me to no end. It's just like, I don't know how you do it. It's like what?
I know. I ask a lot of random questions. I will admit.
No, but it's perfect because it's fun. It's great when you lighten the mood. Sorry if I'm not speaking very much. I've never actually done this on voice chat before, so it's a bit of a different experience.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, I guess I had a ping section there because I almost half a clip into someone at point blank and nothing. That was weird.
Why is there so many
Well,
chickens in the game?
Yeah, it makes sense on this map. It's like you're in South
Chickens?
America. It's like I can't be too surprised. It's a different matter on Vertigo.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's like, why are there chickens in a skyscraper?
Yeah, okay.
And I have had that moment, and it's just like, I remember I was present to at least one voice chat discussion as to why on earth there were chickens in a skyscraper. It's like, it's not even an old abandoned one or something like that, it's like under construction.
Yeah. Yeah, that's weird.
Oh, that scared the dickens out of me. We just came around a corner and, like, I think our gun balls were clipping through each other. That's how close we were. I do quite like though that the CT organizations use real logos. Yes, ASCII. I'm not sure if you could hear him in the background, but that's ASCII whining. Hello. Hello, puppy. Yeah. Hi.
So how many hours a day, like, do you have school for?
So I finished, or you mean in general? Because I'm on break now.
Yeah, in general, sir.
What was that just happened to both?
I
ran out of ammo. You ran out of ammo. It's both funny and it's both funny and embarrassing to both participants when that happens. I know it was present to at least one where that was a three-way.
Yeah.
It's like, how does this happen to three people at once?
I mean, yeah, it's happened to me before. I had run out of ammo with my sniper.
Yeah. It's like, it's one thing when it's two people and one person runs out of ammo. It's a bit different when it's two people, and it's even crazier when it's three.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, from what I've found, it's interesting. The two primary assault rifles have very, very different play styles. The M4 is not spray and pray, but it's not it's not spray and pray either. Whereas the AK, you do not spray. If you spray with the AK, you are gone.
Maybe that's why, like, I always try to, like, I always die.
Yeah,
if
you try and spray more than 3 times with the AK, you are gone.
Oh. Okay.
Without on both weapons there.
I mean, I'm just like holding down the mouse, and
yeah,
I never hit my target.
So okay, so just come over to what's it called? Like come to the A bomb site.
Oh.
Sorry, I didn't realize that was you.
I didn't realize that was you. You were like,
yeah.
come to the. I'm like, oh yeah, hold on. I just need to kill this stranger.
Okay, so come over to the A bomb site, and I'll show you something.
Okay. 1 second.
And no, this is not a trick. That's not something I do. Where are you?
No, I don't care because this is deathmatch, so we can die as many times as we want.
Yeah, it's not a problem. So,
was that you? Oh no, that wasn't you.
I'm at the A bomb site, I think.
Okay, I thought I was at the A bomb site, but I'm at the B bomb site.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm at A.
Oh my god, I keep dying before I can get there.
Yeah, you'll spawn close at some point.
Okay.
The auto sniper is fun, isn't it? I love the auto sniper.
I love it, yeah.
And it's like, I heard some good conversations about the fact that it's really not that powerful for its price and for its effect. It's a scoped assault rifle.
The most expensive gun in the game.
Yeah, it's like
5,000.
I think it's quite well balanced. I'm not sure why everyone always rages against it. That's you, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
I was just about to headshot you, but okay.
Yeah. So if you stay out of the way,
I'll pull up my knife.
So basically, what I want to show you.
Oh my god! Oh wait, hold on. I got this guy.
Wait. Oh, it's a bot for Pete's sake.
Oh no!
Dang it. So, fine, I'll just tell you by voice.
Okay.
So basically, you can just find a wall, like in a secluded corner, just point at the wall, hold down the mouse, and don't move the mouse.
Hold down the mouse, but don't move it?
Yeah, so empty the clip into the wall, effectively.
Okay. So you said in a corner?
Doesn't have to be in a corner, just in a secluded spot so you don't get killed midway through.
Alright, I just did that.
Yeah. So, do you see the way that it tracks? Like, did you notice the pattern as it goes along? So, for example, for the AK, I believe it goes up, and then right, and then left, and then right. I'm not sure. I don't know how it works with the auto sniper. I'd recommend getting, like, one of the normal guns.
Oh, yeah, I'm on my Glock. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that's not gonna work so well with the Glock.
Oh, really? Okay.
Or, I don't know actually. Is it full auto? This is
No, it's
specifically
not.
for full auto weapons.
Oh,
Yeah, this
it's
is,
only, okay.
or
I
not
mean,
only,
the auto sniper was full auto.
yeah, so it does, but it's best on, like, high rate of fire weapons. That's where it works most effectively.
Okay, I got it. I'm on a, UMP-45.
That works. So, so just, if you point it at the wall, and just do that thing again, I'll give you a few seconds to do it, because it takes a bit probably.
Okay, did it?
So, if you notice, I don't know the spray pattern off the top of my head, but it should have had a very definite direction. So, for example, it might go, it usually goes up first, and then it'll go either left or right, and then it might come back. Basically, that will happen every time you fire that weapon.
Okay.
So, let's go on the same team in this next match, and I can show you properly.
What map do you want me to vote for?
Either, or any, doesn't really matter.
Where we go? Okay. 1 sec, I'll be right back. Alright, can you hear me?
Yep.
Perfect.
Okay, so I actually hang on. I'm gonna. Annoyingly, I'm not sure if you've encountered this glitch, but I occasionally will have a glitch where I can't buy, and I won't even be left with an assault rifle or any primary weapon. So I'm having to go on the USPS only right now until I next get killed.
So actually, I believe the reason why that is when like you don't have enough kills to like get enough points for the gun, it will only give you a pistol.
Maybe my understanding was that that basically it wasn't a thing. So if you join the the CT team and come to like say the or come to, do you know what section of the map is this? It's far north, so it's called, I think, T ramp.
Are we basically in the Vertigo skyscraper map right now?
No, we're in Cobblestone.
Oh, okay. I want to play the skyscraper map.
Don't worry, we can do that next. Unfortunately, we're the only two in the lobby at the moment, so. So if you, oh, there you are. Perfect. Okay, so this area is usually doesn't tend to be a problem too much. So if you come in here, so do you have the, so hang on, I'm going to have to probably rejoin. So hang on. Oh, for Pete's sake, now I can't. Why can't I rejoin the CT? Oh, for Pete's sake, what's happened?
Oh no, is your game glitched?
No, I think it's. Can you try joining Terrorist?
I don't think it will.
If you press M.
Oh, really? Oh yeah. Okay, I can join Terrorist.
Okay, all right.
I had no idea you could do that.
to get the AK.
Oh my god, no. Okay, AK. Buying period has expired.
Oh, dang it. Okay, well, I'll show you with the AK.
Okay.
So basically, the AK, if you get to a set distance from the wall, or wait,
Wait,
don't do it on the
sec. I'll
slope.
join. Okay.
Or don't, because that's what I tried to do, and then I couldn't rejoin the same team. So if you see the wall, oops, sorry, I had a bit of lag.
Okay.
So I'm set different distance from the wall, and I just hold down the trigger without moving my mouse. So did you see the way that it went up, and then right, and then back to the center? I'll do it again to show you. So don't fire this time.
Yeah.
So it did all that
I
without
see.
me moving my mouse.
Okay.
So what you can do with this is you can try and counter it. So in this case, you go. So that was a poor example of it, but basically, if you do it well, you can actually counteract the spray effectively and get a very close to totally on-target shot. Let me try this again. So see how much more closely, so if this on the bottom left, you can see how much more closely spaced that was. It's not perfect, but it's a heck of a lot better than doing it by just keeping your crosshair on the person.
So, like, let's say I have a Desert Eagle right now. That's pretty... Okay,
Yeah,
those are
so
pretty
you can-
accurate.
Yeah, or the Desert Eagle isn't too bad. It's more of a thing with high-powered assault rifles. But but this works with the AUG, the SG. This works with pretty much everything.
Okay, I have an AR right now.
Okay, so wait, a what? Like a specific type of assault rifle,
A
or just
Gala AR. Oh, wait, which one are... I don't know which one's you.
Galil, the Galil.
Okay.
Quite possibly the best gun in the game.
The Galil
kidding.
AR.
Yeah, the Galil.
The Galil. Okay.
Yeah, it's an Israeli military rifle. Sorry, I probably cut it there. Once in a while, my internet will go nuts, and I'll go from my normal, which is like 24 ping, to 800 ping, and then
Happened
back.
to me. Yeah, it's pretty annoying.
So yeah, so you can do the same. You can do the same thing with every automatic weapon, and if you work on countering that out, just try to do it a few times each match. Slowly, you will get to the point where you know at least roughly what the spray patterns are from memory, and at that point, you can start working on using it to directly counteract what the weapon wants to do. However, I have not even gotten to that point, but until you get to that point, what I'd recommend is very much so short control bursts, especially with the AK. The AK, I found really 3 to 4 is about all you can get away with before it starts skyrocketing upwards.
Do you think, because, like, right now I have the guns on, like, auto-rotate, where it just gives me a random gun every time I spawn?
Oh yeah, so press F3.
F3? Okay, is that a good thing or a bad thing for me, like, to do that?
You can do that if you want to practice, but if you want to practice with a specific weapon, you can turn off weapon switching with F3, and then you buy a weapon once, and it will stay with you until you buy something else.
Okay, what would you recommend me to do?
So if you wanted, so it depends. The Galil, frankly, is a great starter weapon. It's really effective. It's used a lot of games because it's quite cheap. It's not a one-shot headshot, but there are very few guns in this game that are. So it's not as if you're missing out on very much. It's got a good. It's a pretty amazing. Like, frankly, I think it's a little bit overpowered for what the cost is.
So okay, I'll try the Jalil AR.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting weapon history. It's one of, I believe, 2 Israeli weapons in the game.
Okay.
So you've got the Galil and the Negev, which are both Israeli Defense Force weapons.
The Galil and then what's the other one?
The Negev. It's
the Negev.
It's the other it's the other heavy machine gun that isn't the M249. And frankly, it's largely better than the M249, especially because if you want to at some point, just try out the Negev and do the thing against the wall, and you will find that after 20 to 30 rounds out of its 150 round clip, beam. Effectively, there is no recoil after that point, and there is no variation at all. and so you can sometimes outperform a sniper, which is nuts. And so that the Negev has fallen out of favor a little bit recently because of that, because it's like, okay, this is ridiculous. It does make it very, very fun to use, though.
But I mean, the problem, like, I don't usually use the heavy machine guns just because, like, how slow you move.
Yeah. The Negev especially is an extreme example of that. You move at like half normal speed.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
With like a knife, you can just fly through the map.
But it is incredibly satisfying to get to get headshots repeatedly with the HMG without ever lifting off the trigger from the other side of the map. It is incredibly satisfying to be able to do that over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So it is also equally ridiculous.
True.
I mean, it should be better for long spray than most weapons. I mean, it is a machine gun after all, but not a laser rifle.
Yeah. Alright.
I'm probably putting through a lot of information at once.
No, it's all good.
One thing that I both like and hate about this game is that you have no control in midair while you're jumping.
Yeah. Okay.
And, like, it's fair enough, but it can also be really annoying. But it's like, if you hit a wall on your way to a jump, you are not going to make that jump, period. It's like, it can be very annoying when trying to get around ledges, especially if you're like me and what you're most used to is Minecraft. Where, of course, you have complete midair control.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean creative at least.
So you want to do Vertigo next?
Yes. Okay.
Hopefully the others get the hint.
Yeah. Yay!
Yep, there we go.
Perfect.
This is a fun map, no holds barred. It's fun with almost every weapon.
Yeah.
The only weapon I do not like with it, like actually don't like with it, is the Scout. Just because the Scout's not like the AWP. With the Scout, you have to have long range. There's no ifs or buts about it. Because if you miss, like, or not even if you miss, but if you get anything but a headshot at anything less than hyper long range, you're gone.
Mm-hmm.
Because it takes, I think, over a second to cycle.
What gun is
Bless
this?
you.
Oh no. Chickens.
Yeah, I know, right? Why are there chickens on a skyscraper? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It's like, if you're in an Aztec ruin, okay, fair enough. Maybe a flock of chickens escaped from a local farm.
Yeah.
I'm not going to completely, like, it's weird, but it's not ridiculous. It's a really different matter when it's on a skyscraper.
I mean, how did they, like, is there, like, a crane that just, like...
Yeah, where are these, or did someone just, like, someone must have just taken them up in the elevator or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Or, I mean, obviously, in reality, it's just they spawn on every map, regardless. One of the weird things about it is that in Deathmatch, they actually get you a point.
Like, if you kill a chicken?
Yeah, each one is 1 point.
Hold on. I didn't know that.
And I have won matches before from chickens. As in where one person had more because a headshot is awards 1 more point, and one person may have been getting better headshots than me, but I took the time at 1 point just because I couldn't find anyone else to get like 5-6 chickens, and that actually has won me the match before. What on earth?
Oh no!
Over the course of those 2 lives, that would sting you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, what? And I don't mean 6 pellets, I mean 6 fire rings.
I mean, were you just using like a not very powerful
80
gun?
pellets in you. This is the Mag 7, the incredible shotgun.
Oh yeah, it has like the clip inside of the shells.
Yeah. I hear someone. Alright, anyone hiding in the porta potties? No, not today. Good. And yes, you can do that.
I was just about to ask, do people actually hide in the porta potties?
Yep, you can do that, and if you don't check, it's devastating. Because they will pop out from behind you, and there is nothing you can do about it. So you have to check. And frankly, even if they do open the door, you actually still have a shot. Like, you still got a good chance, because you've got about half a second before they realize. So if you're quick on the trigger, you can actually still win. Of course, at that point, obviously, cover's gone.
Yeah, true.
But it's like and it feels like they might be bulletproof. I don't know this for sure, but I've had weird experiences where I've emptied a clip, and then I've opened the door and someone has hit me, and I know it's not a spawn point. The suspicion it's either really bullet reducing or outright bulletproof, which is ridiculous. I mean, it's a porta potty.
What if like you actually shot a porta potty with a gun in your life?
It's like it's plastic. It's like half-inch plastic. It would go straight through. There isn't even metal in there. It's like even if there were metal, it would be extremely thin, and you'd still go straight through. But no, it's just plastic.
Yeah. Oh my god! You're better than me!
I got the jump on you, in fairness. And that's just luck. That's one of the things that is so important to remember about this game, is just try not to get salty, because there is luck, and it does not, it's not like other games where, you know, it might soften things.
Yeah.
Like, you know how in other games it's like especially Fortnite was a perfect example of this when I played. It's like, you could have a total drop on someone, and if you didn't completely follow through perfectly, they could still win.
Yeah.
Just because it was just out of ammo. That was ridiculous. I was completely out of ammo. But basically, like, if you don't follow through perfectly, it's like, what? I have held down an AR constantly, and they've turned around with a shotgun. Like, what? This does not make sense. And that's just because, and I mind of duty, like it really, like, the weapons don't do as much damage as they should. So it might take like 6 or 7 assault rifle bullets to get someone. It's like, no, it's 1 or 2. It's like, it's not quite that brutal in this, but it's mildly realistic at least. It's not like a 10-second. It's not like a 10-second gunfight where people are hitting their shots, which actually, like, I remember that happening to me in Fortnite.
Do you still play Fortnite?
I had to uninstall it because it was taking up too much disk space.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I'm getting for my birthday. Hopefully, is a 4 terabyte hard drive.
Nice.
I'm still on my old 1 terabyte, and when I have a single game that takes up over 200 megabytes, namely Train Simulator, I can't really afford to have anything unintentional. I mean, these days I'm usually shuffling around about 3 gigs of free storage. Or sorry, not 200 megabytes, 200 gigabytes. Of memory. Like, it's like that's a fifth of my hard drive space, and it takes up so much memory because I've got tens of thousands of models in there, like 3D models.
Yeah.
Just because of what I'm doing. I mean, it's a train simulator. I want as much variety as possible. Like, I mean, and if each variation on a coach, and in some cases, depending on the way the particular model works, it might be each model, like each number on a coach is a different entity in storage. And when some of these things might have like 20,000 polygons, that takes up a lot of memory very quickly.
Would you, like, what would you say is, like, the, game that takes up the most space in your hard drive?
Train Simulator, without a doubt. Like, again, 225 gigabytes or something like that.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's crazy.
It's like, even Fortnite never took up more than 80, and I thought that was extreme.
doesn't like Call of Duty Cold War with Warzone included is like over 300?
I'm not sure. Oh, hang on, Dad's home. Hey, Dad.
You say hi?
Yeah.
You got visual?
No, just audio.
Oh, Ryan.
Hey,
Miss you guys.
thank you,
Ryan
miss you
says
too.
Dad says, Ryan says, thank you. Dad just got home, so.
Okay, yeah.
This is. I'm not saying I want to hop off just yet, but this has been really fun.
Yeah, this is definitely.
It's just. Oh, sorry about that. That was brutal. I just spawned and instantly you're right there. And then I got exactly the same thing happened to me like 10 seconds later because that's the way Vertigo goes. And I mean, you're still second.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you can see up on the top.
Oh, yeah, okay, I had no idea.
I have this sort of moment too, like, I have moments where it's like, I feel like I'm either doing really well or really poorly, and then I look up and I'm like, how am I second in either case? Like, in the one, I'm like, I should be well in the lead, and in the second, I'm like, I shouldn't even be on that board.
Yeah, okay.
Like, in fact, I had one of those moments earlier on in this call before you joined. I was just missing every shot, and I was like, I think I literally said, I'm playing like a trash pile today, and I look up and I'm second, and I'm just quietly sort of like embarrassed grimace.
So like everyone else is worse than you.
In this case, I think it was mostly because that match was mostly against bots, and the bots in this game are, depending on the situation, absolutely terrible, or like better than the best hacker.
Yeah, okay, I've
Yeah.
I don't understand like why bots like sometimes are so good or so bad.
So, I think it's because they have to find a way to try and nerf them, because if you had an actual unnerfed bot, it would be unbeatable.
Right.
Because it would be completely superhuman reactions. So they have to find a way to nerf it. So you can do that by nerfing the visual field, you can do that by nerfing a whole bunch of different ways. But it is quite possible, it makes it so that sometimes it seems to miss things that are ridiculously obvious. But the one lesson that is so important to learn about bots in CSGO is never, ever spawn camp them. Just don't do it. If you spawn camp a bot with anything other than a scope weapon, let's do canals because we just did cobblestone.
Sure.
If it's fine. If you camp them with anything other than, or if they have anything other than a scope weapon, get as far away as you can, because that is the one time where they have no inhibitions.
I've
not
noticed
kidding.
that. Yeah.
They are perfect headshots.
I've never really understood like why like there's some crazy shots that like a bot has killed me with, and like how did you hit that?
I think again it's basic because in the bots, or sorry, are you saying for the bots or for me?
Oh, for the bots.
For the bots, yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, because the reason a lot of the time what you have to do as a programmer is you have to say, oh, the bot has to have a certain delay, like in order to make it possible to compete against it, or whatever. Whereas spawn, at least in this game, it seems like all of that delay is disabled. Okay. And so it can do it as fast as the computer can process it. And of course, given that, I mean, there's nothing you can do. I mean, that's a matter of 3 milliseconds or something, probably, maybe heck, a lot less. It's just pointing at a screen. It's probably measured in microseconds. WP!
I'm currently using the Mag 7.
Ooh, would not recommend for this map.
I'm almost dead.
I just got a 2-kill with an AWP.
I just died using the Mag 7. It sucks.
Yeah. One of those was a headshot through the other player.
Nice.
That was nuts.
I've seen that happen
look,
before.
I didn't see the other guy, but it's just like, hang on, what? Yeah, the Scar or the SG is a great choice for this map.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Canals is possibly my favorite map in the game, just because you actually have like decently realistic engagement ranges. It's like if you look at the corridors, you have sections which are like, I don't know, maybe 80 meters, something like that, maybe more. Like on on the outside. I'm pretty sure you've seen this bit. They're just these really long open hallways between the buildings. That's just not something you normally see in Counter-Strike.
And like, would
It's
you
like
recommend it for this, or?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's my favorite map.
Oh,
Because,
nice.
because you can do a little bit more than just total. Oh, I would not recommend the Scout. It's for the future. The Scout, unless you're where I am, and you're like way out in the boondocks, and you're going at long range.
Yeah.
Scout is a death sentence.
It is. It sucks.
Unless you're an actual pro, because basically the only way that the Scout can one shot is with a headshot. That's it.
Okay.
There's no alternative.
I gotta say, I'm actually doing at the moment. I'm just doing random weapons.
Hey, look at your score. I mean, you're doing great.
So it's just giving me random weapons every time I spawn. So,
oh yeah, that can work too. That's actually that can be quite fun. I do like to play some guns like that.
Yeah.
Alright, to be clear, that very strange sound was because I walked around a corner after just having shot with the op, and two of them were there.
Ah.
It's like, oh no. How did I miss that? Scoped in on an AFK bot and I somehow missed.
I mean,
like, standing still. How do I manage this?
I get overconfident and then I miss sometimes too.
Except, here's the thing. I lined up for like a full second.
Oh, yeah.
It's not as if it was a flick shot. I lined up, and it just was like, oh, that went straight past his head. What? I just saw a bot do the most crouch jump off of a ledge. That was completely preposterous. What the? Where am I getting hit from?
Oh, no, I need to reload. Ah.
Yeah, you need to reload with a sniper and you can be in a bit of trouble.
Exactly, yeah.
I want to say one thing that does annoy me in the game is all the different player models. Because I have had cases where I had the drop on someone, and then I went, who the hell, or who the heck are you? Because it's not a model I recognize. It's like, what? Hang on, what? Who are you? And they get me, because it's like, they've been looking at me for a full second now, and I haven't shot, because I'm like, what are you? Are you friendly?
That's happened to me, yeah, that's...
Yeah, it's like, I get that they want to try and, like, I mean, they make the game free, and actually, like, even the CSGO Prime does actually, like, that, I've heard, or my understanding, I just turned around and there were 3 of them in a line.
Oh,
there was
nice.
nothing I could do there. It looked like this squad just dropped down from the window behind me. Literally a full squad of 3 of them.
Did you kill them all?
No, they got me before I even realized what was happening.
Oh, okay. I thought you killed them all.
No, it's just like by the time I realized what I was looking at, I was gone. I was long gone.
They all shot you at once?
Yeah. Okay. And like 2 of them had arms.
Oh, yeah.
That was terrifying. Right as I spawned, I heard a death noise right above my head.
Ah.
Like, whoa, that just happened. Well, at least I'm on point with op flicks today.
I do like the AUG, but sometimes like I miss.
Or not AUG, sorry. I misspoke.
Okay.
I've just been getting lucky. I feel like if you can op flick, you can do just about anything.
Just anything. The hip firing in this game, it takes a lot to
It
get
is
used to.
infuriating, isn't it? It's like,
Yeah, definitely.
it's like, I have iron sights. Why am I not using them?
Exactly. Yes.
Basically, the way to simulate using iron sights is to stop moving, effectively.
Okay.
As weird as that sounds, if you stop moving, your accuracy goes way, way up. Dang op leg shot. It's the one place where if you hit them, it's not a one shot. It's like, Pete's sake. Because you, like, half the time I'm already swinging to the next target after realizing that there's no kill message, and it's like, shit. I just had my heart leap out of my chest as I heard a scope noise behind me. Certainly giving a better showing of myself than I have been at other points today.
Are you playing better than usual?
Yeah,
Oh,
playing
nice.
better than almost I ever have. I'm doing really well. Like, I mean, I always do good on this map because it's off heaven, but like, this is a bit different.
Oh, I'm playing with the
been
150
getting
round SMG. Or
Sorry,
not the-
my internet cut out there for a second. I missed half what you're saying. And yes, this is the 150 round. Oh, try doing the thing where you where you look at a wall and you will see just how ridiculous the laser beam effect is.
Okay.
You see?
Yeah, I mean, okay.
It just stops moving entirely.
It's not bad.
It's like, and the thing is, it does that over every range. So as long as you stop and crouch, you can hit anywhere from any place on the map. But yeah, but I mean, this is. I am doing very, very well today. I've been averaging like 6 or 7. I've been averaging like a 6 or 7 1-to-1 KD, which is nuts. I don't know what's going
Very
on.
impressive.
Almost certainly just luck, because I am not that good at. Hang on. Okay. Just asking to close the door because I'm being loud. Please do tell me if I'm being too loud, because it's hard for me to restrict that.
With headphones, I can't hear myself. I literally cannot hear myself.
Gotcha. Perfect. Got it. That was confusing. I sworn I saw someone go down and then just... And they just didn't. I hate the effect that the balcony has on the terrorist silhouette. Sure, yes. I've never actually seen one of those votes called before.
Wait, what did the vote say?
Change current level to ancient.
Huh.
Was interesting.
I don't know what
mean,
that means.
I don't have a problem with, change the map, basically. Basically, if everyone in the map agrees on it, you can, or everyone in the lobby agrees on it, or most of the lobby, you can actually change map, you can override, like, the defaults.
Oh.
This is a fun map.
Okay.
If you want to play a map with random weapons on, which I'm going to be doing that, this is the map to do it.
Okay, I always do random weapons.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I've been just sticking with the same each time, which is really
What
not
gun?
quite as good practice, because usually you won't be able to have the same weapon each time.
Right, but like, what gun do you usually stick with?
So the M4 on the CT side is just a great all-arounder. It can do basically everything. That or the AWP or the MP5 or MP7, depending on which you have enabled, and and for shotgun, obviously Mag 7. And for pistol, usually Deagle. Frankly, if you can be good with the Deagle, it's nuts, because it's a one-shot headshot.
Okay.
And it's like a 75 body shot.
Wow. So, is that
Yeah, it's
so?
nuts.
You always use the deagle?
Not always, and I mean again, it's quite inaccurate. So it's fairly inaccurate if you don't like nail it. So you have it can be a bit of a sorry, I'm being distracted. I'm distracted. It can be a bit hard to use continuously and correctly. Sorry, that has to be the most long-worded and ridiculous way of saying that I could possibly have chosen. Sorry, but it's
Okay,
hard
so-
to be accurate with it, is what I meant to say.
With the bonus weapons, like, do we all get the same bonus weapon at the same time?
Yes, unless it's a team exclusive, in which case you just get the other side's equivalent of it.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So if the bonus weapon is like the Scar, then the bonus weapon for terrorists is the SG, which is the direct equivalent, and they're really very similar.
You don't see, like, why doesn't everyone just get, like, the same weapons?
Well, it does make sense. I mean, it's not as if a terrorist organization is going to have access to something like a or a freedom fighter organization is going to have access to anything like like an M16 or something.
Why?
It's like just access to those is very tightly controlled because it's a U.S. weapon, or well, NATO weapon, I should say. Whereas the AK, for example, basically when the Soviet Union fell apart, their stockpiles were mostly not in what is modern-day Russia, but in the surrounding areas that were under their control. And because of that, those nations all broke away. And because it's the fall of a nation, there were no guards. So some uncounted number of millions and millions of AKs escaped into the general population. So yeah,
Oh, God.
that's why, like even smaller main militaries use the AK because it's that cheap.
Wow.
Like it's about as close as you're gonna come to a corner store gun. At least over there. And even here, I mean, a lot of the mafia, I think, use AKs and stuff.
How much is an AK?
I have no idea the actual price, but I imagine even over there you can't get it legally. But like in terms of if you want an illicit weapon, like the AK is probably about the best one you could choose, just because there's so many of them. And the other thing is, basically, it was kind of like a positives and negatives, because while it did release all of these weapons, it also kept these countries' economies afloat during the incredibly turbulent times. Basically, and so the governments are like, no, we're not going to stop this trade. This is what's keeping us afloat.
True.
So, like, that makes it even harder. It's like, I mean, it's one thing to enforce a weapon when all the governments agree on it. It's another thing when half of the governments are the merchant dealers.
So they're, like, selling guns to the public?
Not to the public, usually. It's to, a lot of the time, it's illicit deals, to, I mean, again, when the Soviet Union broke up, it was a horrible situation. I mean, it was
So
just...
the government is selling guns illegally, pretty much.
Yeah, basically, because that's all they have to sell, and these governments didn't exist a few weeks ago in some cases.
Oh, okay.
Like, one of the world's major superpowers has just fallen. Like, I think it's like 13 member nations are all now scrambling to be able to feed their people. Like, not that they were particularly good at that before, but even more so than before.
Oh, wow, that's crazy.
So, it was, like, my dad was there just after the Soviet Union fell. And my dad actually worked with a whole bunch of groups that worked with Russia to try and keep to try and keep both the populations fed, and trying to keep politics together-ish, so that there wasn't mass civil war, and like trying to install or like make connections with these new leaders to the Western world. And he did this both just before and just after the Russian Revolution, or not the Russian Revolution, sorry, that was in 1917. The fall of the Soviet Union.
It's the Soviet Union, that's Russia, right?
So it's a little confusing, because for a long time it was basically, first there was, or in terms of the modern period, first there was Imperial Russia, or Tsarist Russia, PZAR. And that was when Russia was ruled by, effectively, kings. Tsar is the Russian transliteration of Caesar.
Okay.
So, and that obviously came from Rome. But in 1917, 1918, towards the end of World War II, a German attempt to cause basically Germans and Russians were against each other in World War I, and a German attempt to cause civil disobedience in Russia, and there was a movement there already, succeeded beyond their wildest dreams, scope that was useful to them to the point where it was harmful. Basically, Germany just wanted to cause a small revolution and just take Russia out of the war for a few months because they were in dire straits. Instead, what they got was a new superpower, and that was the USSR, or the Soviet Union. And that power stood through World War II, through Korean War. That's who we faced off against in the Cold War. And it lasted all the way until... Let me check this on Google, I don't want to get this date wrong. Fell between 1988 and 1991. And so up until then, that was the power in the region. Same as US was the power in the Western world at that time.
So the Soviet Union... Oh, okay.
So modern Russia is, I believe it's technically called like the Republic of Russia or something, but it's really an oligarchy. As in ruled by the few. And that's what Putin rules. And he's been in control for much of the time that's existed. And so there have been 3 Russias in the past 150, 200 years, essentially.
That's old. Canada's only been around for 150 years?
As an independent nation, it's really new, but as a roughly independent nation, it's been a couple centuries, I think.
Oh, okay.
I know it's newer than the US is, but not by that much. Like, in terms of when they first started getting autonomy. Like, there was no Canadian Revolution, like there was an American Revolution. I believe, in fact, it technically I think it's still a member of the Commonwealth, but it's really an independent nation at this point. But I think it was close to still kind of a colony, even through World War II. But it had a lot of autonomy, same as Australia.
Okay.
And a lot of the other, British colonies, because that's how Canada got started. Or, well, modern Canada, I should say. Obviously, it doesn't include the First Nations.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, so it's one of these cases where there's no independence point. In fact, the period of transition probably extends over several hundred years.
Okay. So not
Yeah.
150 years old.
So
Everyone's celebrating the birthday, though. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Now I'm curious. I'm going to look this up when I get a free moment. Now I'm really curious as to when Canada technically became independent.
Oh.
Okay. So basically, so it's not quite what I thought it was. So there's a difference between the birthday of the country and the Independence Day. The birth of the nation was July 1st, 1867. But they remained subject to British rule for quite a bit longer. And they've always been close with England, and they still are. It's not as if Canada is likely to join Russia and China anytime.
Right. Yeah, they're not. Sure.
Yeah. So, they're still careful, and they're integral, and it's the same way with Australia, and even surprisingly India, actually. As much as India now has a very vibrant government and a very vibrant culture, well, vibrant culture. I'm not so sure about vibrant government. Still a very poor nation. India, until I believe the 1950s and 60s, was a British colony known as the British Raj. Until Gandhi effectively negotiated one of the only ever peaceful revolutions. And that's why he's so famous. To engage, it's sorry, I'm blathering on, aren't I?
No, that's exactly what I voted for. I voted for engage too.
Okay. Okay. Or, I didn't mean with that, just in terms of all the history stuff.
Oh no, yeah, that's all right.
I get into these ruts is the wrong word, but I get into getting very, very used to, or not. What is up with my words today? Gosh, 2 days after the end of school, and already I can't speak. But I get into, I get very put it one way, and so it's hard for me to just stop, and I don't really think about where the stopping point is. So I'm not sure how much of that you heard, because there was probably a lot of lag.
Okay. Well, like my school days are 7 hours long, or I mean, no, they're longer than that. But how long are your school days?
Really depends.
Okay,
Could be anywhere
same.
from because again, it depends on whether I have live classes. It depends on whether it's just assignments.
Mhm.
So it could be like in terms of Zoom time, which is like that's the app we use for actually like communicating like face live.
I use Zoom,
face to
yep.
face.
I
Yeah,
use
it
Zoom.
could be anything from like I think my shortest day this term was like 2 hours, and my longest was like 6. That's just the time I spend in class.
No, but like the time like doing like schoolwork, like all
Yeah,
like total.
doing schoolwork can vary massively because I work Saturdays as well.
Oh, okay.
Just to take some pressure off. Also means I can generally take Friday evenings on, which is very nice.
Okay.
And it can vary from like 30 minutes if I only have one quick assignment to do to 10, 12 hours.
Okay.
It's so variable. Like I mean, I might have a paper to write. I might have like one tiny bit of math homework to do. It just the scope is enormous.
For me, it varies between I'd say maybe 7 and 12 hours, maybe 14 hours. But yeah, it definitely varies.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the nice things about high school, though. At least you have a relatively stable day schedule. I would imagine you have a place to go. Right,
Yeah,
or-
so class itself is 7 hours, but then there's always homework that I have to do. But and then the homework, like, it always varies.
What classes do you take that takes up 7 hours?
I can actually
I'm
tell
just
you
curious.
exactly. So, game design, electronics. Electronics, I don't really do homework. In game design, I do homework, a little bit of homework. And then the classes where I do a lot of homework are math and English.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I was just wondering in terms of the actual class time.
Okay,
Like
so
what takes
I
like 7
do,
hours.
what takes up 7 hours, so I do classes of, electronics, game design, and... Wait, no, hold on, what do I do? So on Mondays, it's robotics, English, math, and careers.
Okay. And that's one of your longest days, I take it?
So no, and then Tuesday, it's also 7 hours, but it would be of just in school time, and then plus there's homework. It would be, what was it? Game design, English, math, and PE.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I suppose that makes sense. I have some longer classes as well.
They're all an hour
Engineering
and a
is
half
usually much longer
each.
classes. An hour and a half. Okay, that's interesting. Mine
Yeah.
are usually either 1 or 2 hours. Although some are
Okay.
more like 2.5 or 3 hours.
And we're talking
So,
about
like,
like
in
in school. We're not talking about
Yeah,
homework.
like
Okay,
actually
yeah.
in Zoom.
Yeah, same.
So yeah, like my engineering just runs as long as it needs to, which
Mhm.
makes sense because it's recorded and stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've had cases where it's been a full 3 hours in engineering.
Oh wow.
There was something that was very funny. That was kind of a symptom of the times, honestly. Where about halfway through this school year, basically my classes are divided primarily into recitations and lectures. And recitations are where a lot of the homework is done, like other activities. It got so bad to the point that all but due to lack of attendance.
So, oh, hold on, your Wi-Fi. Say that again.
Sorry. basically my classes are broken up into recitations and lectures usually, where lectures is knowledge and recitation is not homework but activities and things like that. And in my engineering class, because the professor also records an equivalent to the recitation, it got the attendance became so low that all but one of the 4 recitations were canceled because no one was coming to them.
Why was no one coming to class?
Because they just watched the recordings, which were generally slightly more efficient.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And no one ever had any questions, so it's like... so it just got to the point where it's like, oh, I guess these aren't necessary.
So, what did the professor think, that no one was coming to his class?
Professor didn't seem to mind it as much. It was just like, okay, this is something that happens. I understand. It's online.
Okay, yeah.
And I mean, again, there is no penalty in learning or in grades for not going.
Okay.
Like, mandatory attendance is basically non-existent in this college, partly because people, like, I mean, do you remember the big storm that happened a couple months ago?
Yeah.
Like, half my class, like, over all of my subjects, was out of point or another during that storm.
Huh.
Like, on school days. That doesn't account for those who had power outages on the weekends.
Right.
And some people were using cell phones instead of computers for over 2 weeks.
How does that work?
Basically, they had to go to the town, which had power, and use phone Zoom.
Oh, but then, like, you can't, like, do, like, your homework on...
Yeah, they couldn't do homework.
Yeah, okay.
So, I mean, there were multiple occasions where assignments were pushed back by as much as 2 weeks. Because people couldn't do the homework. I mean, it's like, they're out of power. It's like, there's nothing you can do about it.
Wait, so did attendance, like, affect your grade in high school?
Well, my high school was weird because it was all online. There were live lessons, but frankly, I very rarely went.
And did that affect your grade by not going?
No, maybe in terms of things I missed by like 2-3%, but that's it. Like, it really very minor effect.
So, okay, something that happened, though, this year in school is in 2 of my morning classes, which, yeah, I guess, in my morning classes, like, sometimes, like, I'm, like, 1 minute or 2 minutes late, but this is, like, the first class, like, me just coming to school, like, traffic, whatever.
Yeah, or you've just gotten up in the case of Zoom.
Yeah.
Or do you do in-person school?
Yeah, no, I do in-person school.
Wow.
I used to do Zoom school, but then it switched back to in-person.
I guess Canada's probably in a better place than the US, at least in terms of infection rates, although we're doing pretty well at the moment.
True. But then, okay, so I got like a 100% on like pretty much every test, and then it was, I got, instead of an A, I got a B, and that was just because like I was like 1 minute late to class.
Well, that's preposterous.
That's stupid!
That's completely preposterous. Did you tell your parents?
I did, yeah. I did.
I mean, that feels like that should be appealed. Like, I mean, what? Like, no, you take attendance at the end of class, not the start. That's actually, like, that, not only is that incredibly strict, that's actually highly unusual from a procedural level. Like, no, it's rare to take attendance only at the start of class. I've never had a class where that's a thing.
Yeah, it's...
That's... You might... I mean, how long ago was it that this happened? Like, in terms of when you got the grade? If it's within a couple of weeks or something, I might even consider maybe seeing if you can get that appealed or something, because that seems ridiculous. And it's like, I'm presuming you went to pretty much every class.
Every single... I did not miss one class.
Yeah,
I was,
I mean,
like, at most, I was, like, 3 minutes late. Like, 2 minutes late.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Was that this term or a previous term?
This was, previous term.
Previous term, okay. Probably nothing you can do about it at this point, then. But,
Okay.
I mean, in future, if you get into a situation like that, I might see if you can, like, talk... I don't know, do you have academic advisors in high school?
I have... Yes, I do.
I might consider, like, talking to your academic advisor about that, because especially with in-person school, like, there are unavoidable factors. It's like you could get stuck in traffic jam, or there could be an accident, and you shouldn't be penalized for that.
I was stuck in a traffic jam, and I was like there like 2 minutes late, and then the teacher was like really mad.
Yeah, okay, that needs to be, yeah, I'd say talk to your academic advisor about that, because that's preposterous.
And by academic advisor, do you mean case manager?
I don't know exactly what a case manager is.
Okay,
Probably
I think it's the
different
same thing
terminology.
as an academic advisor.
What I mean by academic advisor is like someone who helps you determine what your class schedule is going to be for next year.
Oh yeah, that's a case
like-
manager. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So
Okay.
yeah, so I'd say if this happens again, talk to your, I guess for you, it's a case manager, because like, if you're caught in a traffic jam that's beyond reasonable expectations, then it's completely unreasonable that you should be penalized for that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean that's. I mean, I've gotten a couple. I've never gotten one as bad as that. I'm guessing it was how much was the penalization? In terms of like percentage points.
Instead of a 100%, I got an 86%.
14% of your grade is participation?
Yes.
To be that badly calculated?
And I was like 2 minutes late.
That is stunningly inept. Like that. I mean, I believe you, but I wish I didn't. Like, yeah, if that happens again, appeal that. I thought you had like a 91 or a 90 and it went down by like 2 percentage points or something. No, if it's a 14 percentage point drop, that's unacceptable. Like, no. That's not like if you're there within 3 minutes, like, I mean, my classes online are routinely delayed by up to 10 minutes because there aren't enough people there. Like, I mean, actually, like, fully delayed to start. So, yeah, no, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Administration and bureaucracy, I guess.
Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah. I mean, I ran it by Kelly, but like, she's like, "Oh, I don't think they could change a grade, so there's really nothing that we can do about it."
I mean, yeah. At this point, yeah. But I think certainly, do you get like mid-year report cards or something like that?
I do. Yes, I do.
Yeah. If you see something like that happening again, for like the first class, I would say like talk to your case manager, your academic advisor about it, because that's like like if there's nothing you can do about it, then it's ridiculous to penalize you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, even if it's realistic, and in this case, I'm sorry, but 3 minutes tardy is like, unless you're like 3 minutes tardy is never going to be that much of a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I mean, my midterm report card is coming up soon, so I mean, I wonder what that will be.
Yeah, keep an eye out for it, because like if that, like, it's probably just a combination of a whole bunch of factors, like an extremely strict teacher, like just in this one area. I don't know how it is regarding them generally, and an inflexible schedule, and a mismanaged procedural section, just a whole bunch of things, because like it's so weird to be counting attendance at the beginning of class and not at the end.
Yeah, that
doesn't
is
make
true.
sense. Like, the more I think about it, the less I understand it. like that almost seems like you're trying to reduce people's grades.
I mean, maybe they are. Yeah.
I'm not sure it is. It depends. Does your school use like weighted curves, or not weighted curves? That's the wrong word. But where like you can only have a certain number of people be above a certain grade. I've never had the misfortune of encountering such a system myself, but I've heard they exist.
Okay. That is a good question. I want to know, but I don't. I could check for you. Like, would I ask Kelly Lynn, or like who would I ask?
I don't know, but I mean I highly doubt it. It's a rare system, and it doesn't. It's only for like hyper competitive stuff, because in that case, like it could be like, because basically, unless you make it so that everyone could potentially pass the course, you could make it so that it is impossible for all students to pass the class, which is ridiculous. So that would only be used in cases where maybe like the very lowest person gets it, and only if they're way behind or something, or like if it's a safety critical position. Like basically that would be used for a case of trying to eliminate people from a pool. That's it.
Okay.
Which could potentially, I mean, if you're like doing astronaut training or something, I could see it.
Well, yeah, I'm just
like if you have 100 students and you drop the lowest 5, and there's actually a significant difference. Okay, maybe I can accept that then. I still don't really think it's fair, but I can understand it at least. But in a sense like this, where the goal is for people to pass, like, I mean, that's the intention of schools, for people to pass the exams. That looks good on everyone's records, including the school. If it's anything like the U.S., at least, and this really works backwards from the way it should, but schools will actually get more funding if they have good grades.
I do know that, yeah.
Which of course is completely backwards.
Why?
All that really means is that the poor area schools get less money because they're people who are poorer, because some of these people might not be able to eat.
Wait, so why would a poor area school get worse grades?
Again, because like often students might have to work, like even underage.
Okay.
Students might be starving at home. Students might be living in an extremely loud and troublesome environment. There might be domestic abuse. And these things are all much more common in very poor areas.
Right.
And so, like, yeah. So that's why that's backwards. And there's actually some movement to change that, at least here in the U.S.
Okay.
Or at least, if not change it, because you really don't want to do it the other way, because then schools have an incentive to have bad grades. So the other way is, like, this is unfair. The other way is dangerous and silly.
Right.
But I think really it should just be a different system entirely. Like, I think there should be a baseline minimum, which is enough to cover the costs, and then from there you can get both grants, or if your students are having trouble, or you're in a problem population or whatever. Sorry, that sounded horrible. Like a population with a lot of problems.
No, yeah, problem population.
Serious case of phrasing there.
It's all good.
But yeah, so if you're in one of those cases, you can apply for grants, and if you do well, you also get more money. So it's the mid-range schools that get the least. I think that would be probably the best alternative.
So I mean, you said schools with the highest grades get the most funding. Why can't a poor school just give students just high grades?
They could, but if it's found out, I imagine that would result in some serious upheaval.
Oh, okay.
Like, I mean, I do absolutely understand what you're saying. Make the assignments easier.
Right.